So welcome to the Field Service Roadmap session. It's great to have you here with us. It's going to be packed with innovation, super interesting. All right. So first off, thank you. Thank you for being here with us this morning. Thank you for those listening to us on streaming. Thank you for being our customers and trusting us with your business. I'm Yaron Telem from the Field Service Product Team, and together with Natasha Walia, we'll walk you through the latest and greatest innovations in the field service product. All right, so as you know, we have the complete agentic field service platform that helps you work, operate, and scale with confidence. And we have it entirely across touch points and life cycle of your journey, the customer's journey, from customer experience to work management, asset management, scheduling and dispatch, the mobile force, and of course, field analytics and operational excellence. Now, we are all in the business of continuous innovation, and we've been highly innovating in the last 2 years across the entire touch points of the platform. Sure, you can take a picture. And across all pillars, anything from mobile work brief, capacity planning, work time buffers for scheduling, and more. A lot of innovation. We love innovating. We love listening to you. We love to learn from you and to innovate together to drive better business efficiencies with you. Now, I'm going to walk you, introduce you to a couple of great innovations that we have been shipping in the last couple of months. First of all, our virtual remote assistant product now supports multi-participant mode. This is great. You can have the right people at the right time with the customer on the conversation together with all the relevant knowledge, right? Driving customer experience and customer satisfaction. This is GA. Also, GA now is live bookmarking to the conversation, launching the session via the mobile app, and also deeper integration with Data Cloud. All right, autonomous scheduling. Now, this is where we take really the core important capability of appointment booking and scheduling and making it agentic, right? Really reimagine how appointment management booking should look like. Think of the value prop. It's amazing. I mean, for your dispatcher, it saves a ton, or your organizations, it saves a ton of time and churn work. On average, a dispatcher would probably be on the phone 10, 15 minutes scheduling a customer. Now it's all done agentic. And also from the customer value proposition, this is great because you're always on 24/7 via conversational AI interface, right? Meeting the customer on what channel they prefer, SMS, WhatsApp, web. It's all there, it's GA, it's working. Now I'm going to show you a demo for all those things. And you're going to see 4 parts in that demo. One is the inbound scheduling, when the end customer, right, does the scheduling and reserves a spot in their home for a service. The other would be outreach, right? Dispatcher or proactive maintenance, outreaching to the customer via WhatsApp, via SMS to schedule an appointment, all through an agentic conversation. All right, let's see that in action. So now we have Matthew. Matthew wants to order an HVAC installation at his house. He goes to the website, started talking with Agentforce. Agentforce does a quick validation just to make sure that Matthew is indeed Matthew, right? And after that, there's going to be a conversation. Matthew is going to choose a spot that works for him. You can see the conversation with Agentforce, very dynamic, free language. And then Matthew chooses a spot, gets a confirmation, gets the validation, and he's set to go. This is a planned maintenance, right, on an HVAC. As time for maintenance, Agentforce understands that it's the right time to contact Lauren and tell her that, hey, it comes up with all the context. Your HVAC needs maintenance, right? Agentforce contacts Lauren, and then the conversation kicks off with the context to drive that scheduling. And if Lauren prefers, she can be seamlessly transferred to a human agent to take it off from there with all the context of the conversation. The dispatch console, right? The nerve center of your work, of your operations. The dispatcher can just right-click on any appointment and ask Agentforce to rebook it. Agentforce then goes and talks to the customer to do the booking. Now you can get to the conversational interface and just instruct, suppose Ellen Reed is sick today, you just instruct Agentforce to say, hey, rebook all of Ellen's appointments. You prompt it to do that, and now Agentforce goes and actually updates the schedule, does all the booking or rebooking seamlessly for you. All right, so a great interface, super important. Now, if you're asking yourself, how do I keep notice of what is going on? So many dozens of engines running around the scheduling. This is the place, the scheduling supervisor view. You can see all your agent conversation and deep dive into each one of them at real time or after the fact with full context, see the conversation or jump in as needed. Right? So great innovation, super important, saves time and drives great customer success. Now, assets. We all have our assets, right? Our platform supports the asset service life cycle management end-to-end from install to end of life. Now also supporting BOM hierarchy as maintained as install status, so you can have like deep visibility into the status of your assets, know exactly what is going on. Now I want to talk to you about 2 new super interesting innovations and enhancements we've done to assets recently. One of them is advanced exchange and depot repair. That's where you streamline asset repair, refurbishment, the return process, okay? And start to drive a circular economy, okay? When you get to control your costs, reduce waste. Let's see it in action. Right. So we have a generator. It has a faulty fan. The technician notices that. Now he does something very interesting. He clicks the advanced exchange request. This is great. It's 2 in a box. It not only creates a replenishment order for the part, it also automatically creates a return order for that part and now to a depot, right? So the part is being shipped to a depot for repair. The technician can choose which depot to send it to. It can be done automatically by the business logic. Of course, it's flexible. And now this is submitted. Now in the depot technician receives the return order, right? And automatically creates a work order based on that, right? And then you see that once the work order is created with all the relevant details, with all the relevant supportive information, it will go to be handled and processed in the depot, right? You will see the complete work order steps and instructions how to do that, right? And that actually sort of closes the circle and gives you a circular economy value of a part that has been faulted, sent to the depot for repair, and now is being refurbished and fixed. Here you can see the work order to handle that part, right? The entire workflow of inspection, repair, and so forth is there for you. For connected assets, we now support remote actions, which are automatically responding to telematic events, right? Now, this is important. This is great. I mean, it lets you sort of drive better efficiencies in your business, and let's see it in action. So we see the HVAC. You see its entire life cycle, and from installation, all the milestones. You see everything is there. And you can see that it's now automatically being diagnosed as in warning mode. Because you have IoT, you have the telemetry flowing, and the system sort of calculates and computes the health score continuously all the time. Now, what's going to happen that we are now diagnosing that the health score has gone to critical mode, and automatic firmware update is now going to be deployed on the asset, right? So again, Agentforce identified that the asset has gone to critical mode and remotely applied the firmware update to take care of that. Now, if it would have worked, great. We will see, status of green. But for some reason it didn't, and then automatically a work order was created to send a technician to observe and take care of the asset on the ground. Right? So you see the entire flow, very beautiful, very effective to run your business at scale. All right. So let's just take a moment what we've seen so far. Okay? We've talked about some great new innovations. We've seen the virtual remote assistant. We've seen autonomous scheduling, 2 new great enhancements, depot repair and remote asset actions for asset management. We are also continuing to heavily invest in the core of field service, like the deep capability of scheduling and optimization. And we're really excited to share that we are now introducing dynamic scaling, right? We are putting 10 times more horsepower into optimization, right? Basically, we are enabling you to run enterprise grade at scale, to run denser territories, longer time horizons, or just simplifying the setup of how you do optimizations. This is a super strong feature. It will help you run effective enterprise-grade optimization at scale smoothly. This is in beta. We'd love to see you participate in our beta program and testing that out with us. Again, this has been a very strong customer demand, and responded to that with a 10-time increase of optimization horsepower. All right, with that, I want to welcome to the stage my colleague, Natasha, to take you through other great innovations that we have been doing. Here you go.
Thanks,
Enjoy.
Yaron.
Yeah.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here. And that was for Yaron. Thank you for being here bright and early, the night after the concert, and good morning to everybody watching online as well. I'm so excited to kick us off by telling you about how we've engineered the field service mobile app from the ground up to boost your technicians' efficiencies. And we've had a slew of innovations over the past year, and we have many more coming down the pipeline. But today, I'm going to focus on 3 key things. First is performance priming, which makes access to huge volumes of data offline seamless. And we're making significant improvements to this by providing access to even larger volumes of data, 550,000 records, as well as making it more efficient with Delta Sync. And next up, these are going to be available by end of this year in our December release. Next up is second on our list is native GIS integration, which provides access to rich offline accessible maps in the field service mobile application, so you can visualize any Salesforce or external data. And this will help our technicians be better prepared for and perform on the job. This will be available in GA by February of 2026. And last but not the least is my personal favorite, which is AI Voice to Form, which uses the power of conversational voice and the efficiency of voice over text. I can speak about 135 words per minute, but I can only type about 35 words a minute. So we leverage that innate efficiencies of voice over text to help our technicians fill out forms seamlessly, easily, and efficiently. Let's see this in action. So a technician starts off at the home screen where his app's already been primed for offline access. Clicking in to his first appointment of the day, he sees a rich pre-work briefing at the very top. This is completely customizable, but available with templates out of the box and includes things like customer sentiment, on-site considerations, anything that might be helpful for the technician to be better prepared for the job ahead. He can even have it be read out loud if he was driving or on the go. But going back out, our technician notices he has 47 different work order line items to cover today. That's a lot of items to go through in a list view. But now, with our Esri map integration, you can simply click on the Maps tab on the top right and visually see all of these work order line items on a nice map. You can zoom in and click into an object of interest and see details like asset details, asset health score. And this isn't limited to field service objects. Any Salesforce data can be visualized on the Esri maps. Going back out, you'll notice you even have access to map layers on the top right. So being in a remote area in this example, our technician has access to wildfire risk information, so he can better understand his risk profile, but you can also show things like traffic information. But let's zoom back into one of the trees our technician needs to inspect today and help him collect information on this particular tree. I'm going to bring up the form, and now using AI Voice to Form, I can simply speak to the form to fill it.
I'm here to inspect a hibiscus tree. It is tagged with number 619. The tree is approximately 30 feet tall and about 70 inches wide. It is located directly under a power line, and the overall tree health is fair. There are no major structural integrity issues, but I did notice a few branches leaning out into the power line. So let's create an action item to trim those. Once the technician has finished speaking, we transcribe all of the utterance for him to review and edit if needed. Looks good to me, so I'm going to click the up button,
which is going to upload this transcription into the LLM, which is going to take all this contextual, unstructured information and map it into structured form fields. Notice I'd said 30 feet for the tree height, but the form requires it to be filled in inches. And AI voice to form does that intelligently and maps feet to inches. Just an example of it's much more than just robotic transcription. So that's AI voice to form in action. And at the end of the form, if I wanted to, I could even upload a picture to complete the form, to complete the tree inspection. And done. All right, so that was AI voice to form. Next, I want to switch gears and take a walk in the shoes of our admins and help them operate with confidence. With Field Service Operations Center, we combine insights from multiple clouds into a single pane of glass. So you, as the field service administrator, can proactively manage your field service operations. Let's take a look at this in action and see how you can proactively manage your deployment. The Ops Suite comes out of the box with 12 key KPIs, including first-time fix rate, technician utilization, and many more. But scrolling down, we notice there is a spike in new work orders and unscheduled appointments. Something's wrong. So let's look under the covers to see what might be going on. And on further investigation, it looks like one of our assets is experiencing a spike in unscheduled downtime. Now, in order to manage that work spike, we must proactively service this asset. But to do that, we're going to need more capacity. So let me show you how easy it is with Agentforce to ask and find out regions with available capacity. You simply bring up the analytics agent, ask it the question, show me territories with available capacity. Agentforce goes off to work and comes back just in a few seconds with rich details and an infograph indicating where you can borrow capacity from. Next, because Ops Suite is integrated with Capacity Planner, you can take action right in the flow of work. With just a few clicks, you can migrate capacity to meet increased demands. No app switching, no loss of context. So with the Ops Suite, you can proactively manage your field service deployment with a single pane of glass, powered by Agentforce, Tableau Next, and Data Cloud. And last but not the least, we've shown you a ton of innovations today, but we also want to make it easy for you to deliver these innovations to your end users and reduce time to delivery and simplify setup. So that's where Salesforce Go comes into action. Salesforce Go massively simplifies your initial and subsequent setup of field service, removing the need to spend hours in manual configuration, and ensuring best practices and a consistent setup every single time. So let's see it in action. With a single toggle, the system automatically handles everything needed to kickstart your deployment, handling things like creating permission sets, creating user profiles, enabling features. So we've taken over what used to be over 800 clicks and reduced them down to under 50 clicks. So what used to take you days to weeks to set up now takes hours. And it's not just about reducing the time to set up. It's also ensuring a consistent best practices setup every single time. And we've also taken the same simplicity of setup and extended it to features like data capture. So again, one toggle, and the system handles everything you need to configure subsequent feature implementation. We've also created templates for you, so you can configure these to handle common scenarios like creating a data capture form for changing service appointment status change, or creating a data capture form for gathering lead and opportunity information. And it's all about empowering your administrators and getting tools in the hands of your users faster than ever before, and doing it in a consistent best practices way. So this is, Jerome and I have talked about a bunch of things today. We have a lot more coming. This is just a splash screen of all the innovations we're building to help you scale, work, and operate with confidence. And our journey here in this session might be coming to an end, but your journey at Dreamforce has a ways to go. So after this today, go check out our field service campground demos, where I hear they have drone demos. There's also a field service scheduling workshop later today, so you can level up your scheduling skills. And last but not the least, after Dreamforce, join our Service Blazer community on Slack to continue the learnings and the collaboration with fellow Service Blazers. And thank you so much for being here today.